So to recap, we're in Egypt still. You guys, we just did my little sub adventure, which is, I guess, impromptu called River to the Sun, where you guys were going up the Nile and came to find that it seemed like nobody on board was necessarily what they seemed. There was a murder, then the ship exploded, or the engine room exploded, the ship started to sink, everybody had to get off. You were sent to go find Clara because the captain didn't know where she was. You found her, and as you went to escape with her, a Slim specifically went to escape with her, you ran across Arizona Joe, or Austria Joe, as Sharif likes to call him, and it turned out that Clara was something completely different. Bless you. And she
Oh, excuse me.
proceeded to attack and more or less eat Arizona Joe. And Slim just noped his way right out of that one, which was probably a pretty smart thing to do.
Wait a
You,
second. So did she morph into something, or just like Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, there was like a showdown where so Slim was trying to escort her out of the cargo hold of the boat or whatever, and
she was
while they were
pretending to be trapped underneath some
Uh,
boxes.
and so Austria Joe comes out and does like this confrontation of starts insulting Slim, and so there's like a showdown, and it looks like it's going to be like a gun battle,
yeah.
Slim is posturing for like a draw or something, and then like while he's talking to Joe, she's behind him and like mutates into this monster. And then like Slim turns around and sees this horrible creature, and she like spared his life, implied that she was going to eat him, but
Uh,
she was going to kill this guy first. And this guy tried to cast some spells. The monster went after the guy, and Slim just like ran.
Yeah,
Yeah, didn't she say something like, "Now I have to go. It's too bad I don't have the chance to eat you," or something like
Yeah,
that? Or I've been
something
planning
exactly.
on eating you the whole time, but you'll have to wait till later, or something like that. Obviously,
huh.
had a little twinkle for him, but also wanted to eat him.
yeah, and
That was great.
I like your picture now, Kyle. That's pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Arizona Joe tried to cast a spell, and it completely failed. It didn't do anything. He actually tried to cast a spell at her, but yeah she morphed into this disturbing, 7 foot tall, gangly thing with long claws and a mouthful of teeth, and yeah, she went after Joe and sank her claws into him, and then sank her teeth into him, and arterial spray everywhere. The last time you guys saw her, you guys were back up on the top of the upper deck, bailing off the ship with everybody else. And you guys actually saw her come back up the steps. Now, of course, only Slim saw her in her true form, but she came back up the steps, and she just looked like her again, except she was drenched in blood. And she actually waved and smiled at you guys, and then jumped off the other side of the ship.
Amazing.
So, um, I was really, I was really kind of, I was really jonesing to see who was going to be involved in that final confrontation. I was kind of hoping that, you know, uh, I was kind of hoping in a way that Singh would be there, because if it actually came into a fight between you guys and her in a one-on-one situation, like, Singh is the only person who has even a prayer.
Sure, sure.
I might have been able to use that banishment spell for
It,
once.
yeah, exactly. So, but that's okay. It's all good.
Noted.
Um,
Well, I am kind of thrilled it was Slim because that has so many like character implications for him.
yeah, I'm curious to see how that plays out for Slim. If he finally starts to accept the things that have been around him, but he hasn't entirely, been a part of, or if he's just going to kind of lock that away and compartmentalize it, and 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 start to forget that it even happened.
That's such a great question. I'm asking that question, and I'm asking, you know, there was that scene where like he was thinking about the amulet that Singh had given him, and how he chose to go get her over the weapons.
Oh
But then
yeah.
he makes this choice, and it turns out like she's a demon or whatever. So that's gonna fuck with him, I think.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't doubt it. That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
He's going
Um,
to initiate a Latinas only policy.
Just right behind the
um,
door.
oh, what else happened? You guys also, you guys did recover a
Notebook, right?
you recovered a
The letter.
notebook and a letter. The notebook, at quick glance, looked like it was from Lady Sonia Green, who you guys believe and are probably correct that Arizona Joe murdered. And just a quick glance told you that it looks like she worked for MI6. That she was British intelligence. That's about as far as you got with it, obviously. And then there was a letter. There was a letter, an actual handwritten letter, not a telegram, um, that was signed by A. Lohman. Title was with the title prior, and it was it was written to Arizona Joe, who you know is named Johann Webb, uh, or and that the exarch basically the exarch required him uh, to try to find the try to find the treasure or the sun treasure before anybody else, especially Nachtwolfe. So um, I'm gonna hand wave a couple
Oh,
things. Just go ahead.
well,
Okay.
well, the other thing was the letter said something kind of gross. It said that their agents were successful interrogating the corpse of Ehrlichman.
Correct.
Ew. There was some shenanigans there.
Oh, what's a little necromancy between friends?
Oh, and the my notes on the notebook say it, the her notebook was the notebook on Lady Green was her journal.
Right.
But we haven't looked at it in much detail yet. I don't know if we'll have to figure out if there's anything else in there that can help us. Okay, go on.
Um,
That's all of my notes.
yeah, I think that pretty much covers the update, unless anybody else has an important detail that we think I've forgotten. Um, I meant to go back and listen to the end of last week's session last night, but I just didn't have time. Um, so to just to hand wave things a little bit, the Nile in general can be a dangerous place, but with as many people as were getting off that boat, I mean, it was a total of 80 passengers and a couple dozen crew. Um, eh, the generally less pleasant denizens of the Nile were probably not too interested in getting involved in all that. That was a whole lot of activity. Um, the captain has explained to everybody, and he explains to them over and over and over that uh, that Qena, their destination, is aware that they sank. Again, his ship was brand new, state of the art. He had a wireless radio, and as the ship started to sink, he let them know that they'll be sending help. They just have to come north, right up the Nile, and it's only a few hours away. Of course, it's this is night, so all we have to do is stay put, and help's coming. Of course, there's a lot of people that are very upset. You've got, they've lost belongings and luggage and stuff they had with them. They don't have clothes. They probably lost money. They et cetera, et cetera. and his calm stays very well in place for a while until eventually he just gets tired of it and basically starts telling people just to just to shut up. There's help coming. What are you lost $100. I lost my whole ship. What do you want from me? Type situation.
Sure. Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Um,
but Slim saved his big bag.
I did.
yeah. Um, the Khan, the captain debriefs with Khan a little bit, and again, you guys all have come to the conclusion, probably with a little information from Slim as well. You've all come to the conclusion that uh, Arizona Joe was responsible for everything that happened. That he killed Lady Green. That he is the one who probably sabotaged the engine room, caused the explosion, and I guess how would Slim? Would Slim say for a fact that he knows that Arizona Joe is dead?
What do you say for a fact?
Not. I mean, outside the group, like talking to the captain.
Oh, um, because he did watch the guy get eviscerated as
Oh
well.
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Um, I I don't know. I think Slim would is pretty withdrawn about all of this. I mean, he's told the group that Joe is gone, but I'm not even sure if Slim would engage with the captain.
Gotcha.
Uh, I think he's I don't know, brooding in some way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm in on that. With
Henry
Khan,
Henry will up.
go ahead.
Well, Henry will. Um, well, you were going to ask Khan something. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say with Khan doing probably most of the debriefing with the captain, because obviously the captain trusts Khan as an inspector general of the empire. Um, I guess the question becomes: does Khan tell the captain that Arizona Joe is surely dead, and does he explain how that happens?
Oh, Walter,
Well,
Henry's going to very quietly in Khan's ear say, maybe it's sufficient simply to say, we know he went down with the ship.
that's what I was thinking too.
Uh,
Give it a more simplistic, naturalistic ending.
yeah, and to which the captain would probably say something to the tune of, uh, well, may the crocodiles feast on him then, or something along those lines. So, a few hours pass, and I get deep into the night. Of course, it's cold. Everyone thinks the desert is hot. Of course, we all know that at night the desert can be very cold. Uh, a few fires have been started. People huddling around for warmth. Um, Eventually, you hear the rumble of engines in the distance, and you start to see lights. Uh, and it's there's a bizarre hodgepodge of vehicles that come. There's a couple of these Bentley Derbies. There's a Bedford truck. Even following a distance behind them is probably camels and horses. Just because they got to retrieve like 100 people, So in this small town of Qena, even though it's used to visitors being very close to Dendera and being kind of a stopping point for archaeological missions or just people in general going to go see the site at Dendera, it's not a huge town. So they've obviously cobbled together everything they can to pick people up. Um, kind of your Dunkirk pleasure craft type thing, but on a much smaller and land based level. Um, and they eventually you all make it to Kenna, and we're just going to go into XP gain. Let's see here, which book is this? Oh, wrong book, wrong book, wrong book. Sorry.
I'm mildly bitter I didn't get to use focus orienteering. But navigating across the desert.
Oh yeah, nah, sorry. Um, there we go. I know I can just go to my PDF and go straight to the page, but I just don't. I
Page
like
82.
books. I like
Okay.
books. All right. So real quick before we get into this, because I have an XP tracker Excel sheet.
Oh, good
Um,
for you.
Baker, I'm showing you have a balance of 2 XP.
Correct.
Pilecki, I'm
I have two.
showing. Go ahead.
Yeah, it was two left over. Yeah.
Yep. Pilecki, I'm showing you have a balance of 6 left over.
That's what it's showing, yeah.
All right. Sing, I'm showing you with a balance of 8.
That is what I have.
And then last but not least, Slim will get you with a balance of 5.
Correct.
Good. All right. Just making sure we're all on the same page. So gaining experience. Um, Starting with the player's guide side of it, you
What was the goal?
well, that's kind of it, right? What was the goal except to get down the river? Um,
Well,
I'm
we
going
did.
I'm going to give you the 5 XP for that just because that was the whole point of playing it. So, I mean, that's just general playing the game, right? Heroism. Were there any heroic deeds performed by the characters?
Um, Heroic. I don't. I mean, clearly that's subjective on how heroic. You're thinking in like the classic rope swingy kind of way,
Yeah, yeah. This one was much more of a story-based game,
right?
so I don't know that because there was no real combat. There was none of that, so that's where most of your opportunities to be heroic come into play, right?
Oh, wait a minute. What about Baker throwing the crate off of Miss Whitmore? Because wasn't it like a flooded chamber and Slim couldn't get it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what about
Well,
Slim going down into the flooded chamber to rescue the lady to begin
I
with?
was going to say maybe the rule says most heroic act earns 5, and the other heroes get 3. Maybe there's no most heroic act, but the fact of going down in the ship when it's sinking, I think qualifies for probably 3 XP.
In real life, that would be some terrifying shit.
It
That
would
would be
be.
some terrible. Yeah.
It would be.
Yeah, I agree too.
So why don't we do this? Why don't we give because the way I read it is the most heroic act gets 5 and other heroes gain 3. Um, so why don't we just award Slim the 5 and then you guys each get 3.
Oh, wow.
Um, Invoking a truth. Did anybody invoke a truth to gain a fortune point this game? I don't think so.
I did. Remember when I invoked outlawed
Yes,
mindset?
yes, you did. All right, Slim. So that's one for you. Um,
I forgot about that part.
yeah, yeah, that was great. I liked it. Failure. You gain an XP each time you fail a skill test in which you bought one or more bonus D20s. This is one of these ones that we have to keep track of because we forget.
Yeah.
I know Singh did it once, and I know Baker did it once.
Yeah.
Um, Beyond that, I don't recall.
Well,
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar for me.
if we page up through the history,
Oh, good God! Talking about 3 game sessions worth of history there.
I
Don't
see
challenge him.
Arizona Joe failed. Success, success, failure. Slim.
I don't think I had many failures, to be honest.
You had one. Oh, but you have
Are you looking to see if you
failure
have
where
3 or more
you
dice?
where you
Right.
purchased it, where you got an extra dice. So extra die.
Yep.
So
There's Baker with 1. He had 3 dice with a failure. So I know
yeah.
Baker's got one. Um, I thought Baker's got two. He failed an insight roll with with with
Oh,
three
wow.
dice. Um, it was actually a good idea paging up through the history. Um, it's not as time consuming as I thought it would be. All right, so near as I can tell, um,
Okay, Baker.
yeah, near as I can tell, Baker picked up two of those, and nobody else failed on a roll where they bought extra dice. Um, threat spend, I didn't spend three threat at any given time, so passing that. Um, I mean, GM's gift for good role playing. Actually, I think that moves separate into the GM guide. So give me 1 second. Let me flip over that.
I like
Uh,
this. Good role playing or audacious, innovative, or amusing actions or dialogue.
I mean, I don't see how everybody didn't earn that.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. So I'm thinking about Sharif's role play with the murder scene.
Yeah.
Super awesome. Like there's a bit of murder on the boat kind of thing. Great. Um, Baker with his like sly, um, the way he interacts with like Miss Whitmore and like the boat tour thing, very cool. And Pilecki with this whole gag of trying to get Miss Whitmore out of his cabin or whatever with the tuna fish sandwich. Really
Yeah.
funny.
I forgot about that.
Saucer of milk for my dog.
Yeah. So I'm
There was
just
also a good one for Slim. I keep coming back to Slim on this one, but there was a good one for Slim when he knew instantly that Arizona Joe was a fucking spy, but role played complete ignorance the whole time. Like the player Kyle knew in a second, like this guy's a fucking spy. But he was like, "Oh, hello, yeah, you're great. Let's go hang out."
yeah. So I'm just awarding everybody five for that.
All right.
So
Oh,
right now I
wow.
got Baker at
God damn, that's
15.
generous, bro.
Well, I'm sorry, I've got a balance of Baker at 17. Well, this was an RPG scenario, a role playing scenario. That's what this one really was, and everybody really just dived into the character. So right now I've got Baker at a balance of 17, Palecki at a balance of 19, Sing and Slim both at 21. Um,
Yep.
Nobody was wounded during this one, were they? Walter was
Surprise.
recovering from being wounded earlier, but in this, no, I
Correct.
don't think anybody was actually wounded. Um,
Because
Well,
Sharif
didn't
fought
he?
off the spell effects, right, of the mind shatter.
Yeah, I shrugged him off. But didn't Walter have a secondary psychic effect? Didn't he like give himself another brains?
I think that was before, wasn't it?
No, I know you came into it with a brain squeeze, but
Right.
didn't
It was
you
a second
also
one, yeah.
get a second, some kind of?
I did. I got a second scar, psychic scar, but
but
I
that
don't
was
think it
from
was
what
really.
happened before you guys got on the
Yeah, it
steamboat.
was before this
Yeah,
scene.
okay, so he was literally just recovering the
Yeah.
whole time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's why I was so avoidant.
Um. All right. Let's see here. Okay. I'm sorry. I don't know that anyone really qualifies for this one. Conspicuous acts of bravery, gallantry, or heroism. We've already kind of touched on that in a light level way, but in terms of something that was really potentially life threatening and brave, I don't think we're there. Um, no one was wounded. Innovative or novel solution to problems they encountered.
Um,
I'm not sure I would necessarily define it. I mean, you guys did obviously the obvious things that you're supposed to, or not. I shouldn't say obvious things you're supposed to do, but the things that made sense to do, like investigating Arizona Joe and stuff like that. I don't know how much of it was novel per se.
right.
Um, it's not like you snuck into the room next door and drilled a hole through it so that you could peek on him.
Holy shit, that's smart.
Slim would not have the patience for that shit. That's a
Pro-
Baker
Or,
move.
or
yeah,
perverted, depending on your point of view.
yeah, and who you're spying on. Um, oh, sorry, Miss Whitmore. I thought that was Arizona Joe's cabin. Um,
And we
unfortunately,
got to see,
go ahead.
oh, Slim got to see more of her true self than he really wanted to.
Yeah. Um, no permanently defeated or major adversary NPC requiring nemesis. I mean, Arizona Joe was a nemesis, but you guys really didn't have much of a hand in defeating him. That wasn't the point of the story. And then how challenging the story was. It's just we're just gonna go with a base five. So so everyone gets a base five for just the how challenging the story was. So Baker should have 22. Pilecki should
Yeah.
have 24. Sing and Slim should have 26.
Wow. Awesome.
And
So
to advance, it takes 10,
yeah,
right?
any
To move one.
improvement takes 10.
Yeah.
So you can improve any skill a rank up to a max of is it a max of 3 or is it a max of 5? Let's see here.
What's that? Um,
Max of 5.
attributes have a max of 12, skills have a max of 5.
Correct. So you can improve any one of those by 1 for 10 points. You can gain a focus in a skill for 10 points, and you can gain a talent for 10 points. Now, spellcasters could also theoretically earn a spell, but I'm going to bypass that on this one for you guys because there's not really much of an opportunity in this case, if that makes sense.
Right.
It does. It does. We're on a
Yeah.
boat.
Sure.
The
We're on a boat.
manual,
What's that song go? We're on a boat. Yeah.
the, the
I'm
manual
sorry.
also says that for 10, you can change or remove scars, but it usually means extended downtime to undergo medical or psychological procedures.
Yeah, it's we're not
We
going
don't
to
have
have that
time for
option.
that.
Yeah.
It would be useless but super funny if we took focus in watercraft after taking the tour of the engine room.
We could say that because Walter spent the entire module resting, that perhaps he was able to erase a scar if he wanted to. No? Do you think?
I think that's plausible.
No, I think I'll keep them. They look fun.
Um, oh, and then talents. Let me see. I got to look at my talents.
So I have something in mind here. I've got some things sketched out about what I might take, and I'm kind of narrowing down here. I think I'm going to take two improvements. Um, the first, I think, it's clear that Slim relied on alcohol to get him through seasickness, but also like all this social anxiety, and he's like developing a bit of an issue. I think I'm going to take a stiff drink, the talent, which allows him to to remove stress by drinking from his flask.
All right.
That's great.
I like it.
It's a little
Uh,
bit like Alien RPG, like with
Kyle,
the.
can you say it again? I'm a little sick and I'm slow. I missed it.
yeah, so a stiff drink is a talent where you can drink from a flask and reduce your stress. So,
How much does it reduce by?
So alcoholism.
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah. Um, it's on page 92, I think. So,
Come on, it was the 30s. Everybody smoke, everybody drink. Um,
where is it?
Perfectly normal.
if you do, you may. Okay. When you attempt the catch breath action to remove stress from yourself or an ally, you may drink from the flask. If you do so, remove one damage die of stress. If an effect is rolled, then the alcohol has dulled your abilities and increased complication range on all skill tests by +1. That's
Oh
fantastic.
my.
I love it.
So I think it's a good fit for him based on what's happened. I think he where he was like sort of steering into being the noble warrior. I think he is somewhat scarred by this experience. So that I think that it's a good flavor there. And then um, I think I'm gonna take a skill rank in persuade because of the whole social aspect of the game and the poker situation.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, so you spent 20, which gets your balance down to 6.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you.
And yeah, all right. Who wants to go next?
Uh,
Sorry,
uh,
still reading.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Oh my god.
What's up?
The book has stats for Dagon.
That
Ah,
means he can die.
The book also has stats for Cthulhu.
Oh my. Amazing.
I mean, can we just? I mean, the only stat it should say is you lose. I mean, that's it. Game
yeah.
over. It's game over, man. Game over.
All right, I think I'm good to go here.
All right.
Um,
What are we doing, Pilecki?
so I got 24, which means I could do two things, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to take the talent Scout in observation. It says adept at getting the lie of the land and picking out important details quickly. You may ask one question for free at the beginning of an action scene if you'd spend momentum as if you'd spend momentum to ask to obtain information.
Oh, that's cool. At the
Yeah.
beginning of an action scene. That's cool. I
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be Scout and trying to go along. Oh, here. Yep.
The blind
Under
guy
weird.
has scout. I know. I
Yeah,
know you're
right.
not really blind, but that's funny. Okay.
Exactly. And under weird, I will do bizarre insight. Your mind often shows you glimpses of things you couldn't otherwise know. Once per scene, you may generate one threat to obtain information
Oh wow,
without passing a skill test.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Let's look at
So,
that a second.
just trying to play along with my theme here.
Yeah. Well, with the direction you've been going, that actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And that's a weird talent. Where is it? Where is it? Where's it?
Yeah,
Wizard?
it's on 96.
Oh, of course.
It's
W. It's the last page of talents. Makes sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, so those are the two. So now I'm down to four.
What's it called? Which one was the last one?
Bizarre insight.
Okay, cool.
So basically, I don't have to spend momentum to ask.
Or make a skill roll. He can just
Or
once
make a
per
skill
scene. He can just ask a question. It gives me a point of threat, but still,
That's cool.
Yeah,
I like
that
it.
might help.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And that puts you at a balance of 4. Yep. All right. I've got Baker and Singh.
yeah,
Sorry, I'm
having
still kind of looking.
That's okay. It's not a problem.
I'm trying to decide. I'd like to increase an attribute or a skill, and I'm trying to decide which one. Um, See, what I'm trying not to do, I've got some skills or attributes that are lower than I'd like. My target number is kind of low, but they're strengths of other people in the group. So I don't necessarily want to try and compete with the other guys in the group. There's no sense in it if they have really good target numbers and focuses. The issue is that, as we've seen, Henry ends up separated from the group a lot.
Right.
Not on purpose, because he has confidence in his stealth and his fighting ability. But when separated from someone like Khan, suddenly my observation is not so great. my insight's 9 and my observation's 2, so that's an 11. That's kind of low. So I'm just trying to balance all that. Or do I just keep leaning into my strengths and keep piling those up?
Um,
That's what I'm trying to decide.
yeah, I could be persuaded by either. I do think I am more persuaded by your first argument. You are kind of a solo scout character, and it's kind of thrilling to see you do all the spy shit that you excel at. But some of that is going to rely on, you being able to see shit. You know.
Um, you might want to also consider. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff you can do. Obviously, I mean, you can really customize this character. But I was just flipping through the talents, and like on the very first page of the talents on 87, there's some common talents, and
Yeah.
I was looking at bold and cautious. Those are both kind of cool. Um, which are good for someone, could be good for someone who ends up in a solo situation. Um,
Um, yeah, I was looking at those. I also I was also looking at cool under pressure.
yeah, yeah, I saw that one too.
You get to choose a single skill, and when you attempt the skill test with that skill, you can spend a fortune point to automatically succeed the skill test. Now, here's the interesting thing, though. Can't I spend a fortune point on any skill test to get one success?
You can spend a fortune point on any skill test and it gets you two successes. Okay, but here's the key. What if the difficulty of that test is high?
Right,
Yeah, so um,
right, because this gives you an instant. Doesn't matter how high it is, you
yeah,
succeed.
yeah, it could be a contested it could be a contested thing, a contested roll where your opponent rolled four successes on their roll, which means you need five to win, and this could just automatic succeed. So, but it only attaches to one skill, so you have to decide what skill you want that to be. That would be actually really interesting for spellcasters. Because spellcasters, their difficulty on their spells usually is two or three out the gate, you know?
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, you'll burn through your fortune that way, but usually when it gets to the point where Khan needs to throw a Spear of Indra, it's pretty important. you know?
Um, and that could be the flip side. If I want to improve my observation, I could increase the number, or I could pick an observation talent.
True. What are the observation talents? What do those look like?
They are on page
91.
91.
Yeah. Um, hey, Khan. Sharif, look at, when you get a moment, look at the
Yes.
observation talent on page 91 called Ransack.
It's funny. I'm already in the observation section, looking at the different ones. It's funny. Let me
Or
see.
Scrutinize. Just, they kind of go in with your character. I don't want to obviously tell you what to do, but, you were literally just,
And that what scrutinize was the one I was contemplating.
I got you.
I'm reading Ransack because I think I read it, but I didn't see the. Let me read it again. Oh, I think it was the two threat part that I didn't find
Ah, get you.
appealing. But scrutinize is a close cousin, right? But it just takes longer.
Right.
You have to have time.
Yeah,
Mm.
which it's specifically when you double the time it takes to make an observation test outside of combat. So that's typically not time sensitive as a general rule. Typically, not always, but
Yeah, that is pretty nice. What is mysticism in the survival track? What the hell is that described? Let me see. Oh, it is. Okay. I'll read. I'll read for myself.
I'm
Oh wait,
confused.
I
What?
don't see it. Where did I see this? Hold on a minute. Let me look at the. Oh, it's no. Yeah, mysticism, survival, animal handling. It's a focus, not a talent. That's my problem.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
Does that pertain to spellcasting or does it pertain to like voodoo? I don't know. Like I'll have to look. Focus.
Focuses are page 48.
Thank you. It's
And
not something I think.
mysticism is under it's under survival. Covers knowledge of the rites and practices performed by ancient spiritual leaders and their modern descendants to commune with their gods and spirits and how they can be combated or withstood. So it's not quite the same as a cult.
Okay, but too similar probably to put points into. I think. Are we still waiting on Henry, or is it my turn?
Oh, no, neither of you've made
Anybody can
decisions
go
yet.
when you're
Yeah.
ready.
Yeah, if you've figured it out, go ahead.
All right, I think I'm going to take scrutinize.
Okay. Which leaves you with a balance of 16.
Yep, and then I think I'll take tough.
What does tough do? Is that the one that
Smart.
gives you +1 armor?
3 extra stress.
No,
Oh,
it gives
three.
you 3 extra stress.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay. All right.
I was looking at that too. Hard
Yeah,
as nails gives you
That's
plus
that's
one
the
on
armor
armor.
one. Yeah.
gotcha. Gotcha.
So
And then that'll leave me 6 in the bank, I think.
Yep, that's correct. Now,
right. So
how does real quick, if you take that, the stress track automatically calculates based on stats. Oh wait, there's a bonus box, isn't there, on the stress track?
Yes,
So you should be able to just put -3 and it should open up 3 boxes for you.
indeed.
All
That's
right,
exactly what happened.
cool, good.
is that what does that put your target stress to be then? What's your number?
My total stress, you mean?
Yeah, total.
Yeah, 15.
1 5.
1 5, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Wow.
tough.
Mine's only 10.
Yeah, well, when spellcasters are trying to blow my brains out remotely from another part of a place I can't even see,
Yeah, well, there's that.
I suddenly feel a little less secure.
Well, I haven't found 10 to be a problem so far, but
I've gotten pretty low. Not on this particular jaunt, but the ones before it. I was like, maybe I need a little padding.
all right. I'm gonna bite the bullet and spend 10 to improve my observation by 1.
Okay. Leaves you with 12.
And then my persuasion is normally will plus persuasion. Is that usually the
Usually,
case?
yeah.
So I'm going to increase my will by 1.
What's that bring your will to?
9.
Okay. All right. So that should leave you with two.
Plus, yeah, yeah, that's right.
All right. Perfect.
Okay.
All right. Very good. Um, so as you guys make your way to the town of Qena, um, in the early morning hours, and this is mostly a hand wave, but I am going to ask for an observation roll. Um, one of you can just one of you can roll with two dice, and then one of you can help with one die if you like.
Based on what skill? Based on what
Oh, I'm
skill?
sorry. It would be it'd be insight observation.
Focus of sight,
Sight. Yeah.
instincts. Okay, sight. All right. Who? Well, doesn't
I've
Khan
got,
have the best?
I have
God, that's the
15.
best. Yeah, I have a
yeah,
12.
I've got a focus and sight, two rank, and it would be insight. So let's see, what is that? 9, 10, 11. So yeah, I only have 13 in that, I think.
Is this a check for danger or hidden enemies?
No.
Okay, because I'm constantly watching. I was just asking.
No, that's fair.
All right. So, what are the target numbers? If Khan has a 13, mine is
I have a
12.
15.
Mine is 12.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah,
So,
mine.
Khan has a 15 and Pilecki is a 13.
all
Oh,
right.
yeah.
So Khan should roll, and Pilecki should roll one die. Is that what we think?
Yeah, let's do
Those are the two highest observations. Somebody
Yep.
go.
So, all right. So Khan, we've got two successes with momentum, and then Pilecki, the difficulty of your roll should be zero.
Okay. Yeah, it's been a while. Am I just rolling a dice roller here, or
No, hit the insight. Hit the roll, die
oh, hit
next
insight?
insight.
Okay,
Yep.
okay, got it.
And
And then,
observations, the
One,
relevant skill. You said you had a
one die
sight
though, right?
focus, right? Yeah, one
yeah.
die.
Yeah, yeah, and I have a sight
Yeah,
focus,
so your
so
focus
observation.
applies and difficulty zero for you.
Okay, observation. This difficulty 0.
Oh shit! Critical
Oh, I get
success.
two successes for one die.
Yeah, because you rolled a critical success, you rolled a one.
Oh
Yep.
shit. Okay.
Wow. So not only did
Nice
you
out of
guys
the gate.
succeed, you've got three bonus momentum. Um, so as you're, it's early morning. Um, you pass by an archaeological site on your way there. It's not far from Kenna. That you just based on what you've learned so far here in Egypt, you know to be a site called Amarna, which has come up several times since you've been in Egypt, the Amarna heresy period and stuff like that. Um, what you find, what you notice, and what you see is that there is. It looks like there's an archaeological expedition at Amarna right now. In fact, um, there's a number of cars and trucks, and the even at this distance, you're probably a quarter mile away. You can see that the place is already buzzing with some activity. So that's what you learn from the observation roll. You've generated three momentum on this roll, which you can use to obtain information, or you can just keep on going. Up to you guys.
No, actually, I think I'm gonna. I think the most appropriate for me. I'm gonna try out my new talent, um, the bizarre insight.
Okay.
I know it's gonna give us one threat, but hear me out, guys. I'd like to know if I get the bad feel from that archaeological dig, like Nachtwolf might be performing it.
Yeah, sure. Burn it. Let's get threatened.
I like it. um. All right. So yeah, we're going to generate a threat. Yeah. There's a strange energy about that dig site. You can't quite place it. Something is definitely something's definitely off. It's almost like a kind of a static on the hair of the back of your neck type thing. Um, and the last time you remember feeling it was in the presence of the Clypeus back in, or the how do you pronounce it? Clypeus, I think it is pronounced. The artifact you guys recovered in Rome from underneath Rome.
Oh wow.
Okay, I share that with the group quietly.
But are we in the back of a truck, or are we on?
I think being the heroes that you are, you guys probably let most of the civilians take the motorized vehicles. I think you're on camels.
Uh, okay. Yeah, that's awesome. So Slim is probably skilled on horseback, but I think he's like fighting this camel like a donkey. And he fights to get up close to you, and he says, "Well, you sure are spookable, my friend. But I'll give you this: everywhere we go, seems to get weird.
Guys, I got a phone call. Sorry.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
you think this is Arizona Joe's buddies?
I certainly do. It's somebody that I know we're going to confront a little later. It's the same feeling I had way back in, where were we? We were in Rome.
In Rome, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't felt this way since Rome. It's definitely foul.
Well, I'm itching to let loose a clip into something. You just point me in the right direction. Eh,
So,
God damn it! And this thing is like juking side to side.
Where's Luca at this point? Is Luca riding on a camel too?
That's awesome.
Sure, why not?
Yeah,
Is
so
Luca camel trained?
yeah. Just standing up on the back of the back end, looking out.
like like a dog with his head out the window of a car.
That's right. A very slow
The old
moving
funny
car.
wagon.
So, all right. So out of game, I have a question, a historical question.
Yeah.
Um, so there's a archaeological dig going on at Amarna,
Right.
and that site, I believe, is we're out of game now, so I don't want to metagame.
Right.
I believe that site is where the capital under Akhenaten was built.
That's correct. And in fact, you guys were told that information during the Amarna
Yeah.
heresy. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Okay, so we know. All right,
As a matter of
we know
fact,
that.
since you brought
Yeah.
this up, Henry, I want you to make a roll. I got to figure out what I want it to be. Give me just a second. It's definitely going to be reason. Um, and I'll let you do academia with a history focus, which I'm sure is not your thing.
Nope.
Or you can do observation with a hearing. Or you do have three momentum. You could just burn one for information, and I can tell you what it is. It's up to you.
Yeah, I'll burn it.
Okay. Um, so that drops you guys to two momentum. You in fact remember when you guys visited the Egyptian Museum when you first came to
Yeah.
Rome. The current curator there, in fact, even told you that there were no current uh, uh, expeditions to Amarna.
Oh, interesting. That was the guy in the museum at Egypt.
Yep, the French guy.
Yeah, the curator.
Yep. 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 Oh my God, I can't wait for
So
you
there's
guys to
something
fight one of
nefarious
these
going on
things.
there.
I'm sorry, I'm looking through some of the quote unquote bestiary, and it's like, oh my god, some of these things are horrific. I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
All right, so this caravan takes us into Qena. Is that right?
Yes, and from there it's just a few miles to Dendera.
Okay. Qena. Okay. Um,
Just to
and
refresh, I mean, our what was our original destination for the when we were on the boat?
Dendera. Well, the
Dendera.
destination was Cana, to which you would then get
Right.
to Dendera from there.
Okay, so we're still going to the our
Correct.
primary. Okay.
Right. Well,
Because of where
that's
the boat
that's
sank, it's still the closest town, basically.
and
you
that's
know,
where all the big shit was. We're supposed to drink the red stuff and
At
do the thing
sundown. Yep.
and go, at sundown and go through the gates.
speaking of which,
Just
did someone grab that that beer off the boat?
I think it's safe to say somebody grabbed it, considering it's
Okay,
kind of mission critical.
for plot reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
the just from Wikipedia, the first archaeological excavation of Amarna was 1892, and it proceeded intermittently until 1936. So that's why the guy said there's no excavations going on. So the fact there's some activity there, something's going on. Dun dun dun.
Amazing. All right, well, we should we get a hotel or something in Cana or lodgings, or should do we are we packing up for like a expedition to Dendara or
Well,
Amarna?
how far? How far? Dundara wasn't that far away, right?
No, it's a mile and a half, so
Yeah.
it's very close.
So
There is a very small town. Dendera is mostly known as an archaeological site. It does have a very small town, but most anyone who is going to Dendera either as a whether it's an archaeologist or whether it's as a tourist, whatever it is, typically would stay in Cana. It's much more set up to accommodate.
right, that was what I was going to say. Is if we want to keep appearing to be, you know, actually, we're kind of tourists, but also we got the academia thing going on anyway, um, with uh, Walter and Kahn. If we want to keep that um, ruse going, then we should find a hotel in Cana, and then we either walk or take take mules, or God forbid, slim camels to Dendera. A mile's not that far if we wanted to walk.
Um, Believe it or not, they even have cars available
The death
Well,
traps will come out in
that can be
cars.
rented.
as far as I remember, my cover was to be the driver, which I will remind you is a skill set that I can provide. And he's like, as opposed to this goddamn thing, and like it's pivoting around in like the wrong direction.
I think that's perfectly fine. Just don't steal it.
Oh, come on now.
It's too bad you guys don't have an Arnold-sized character who could punch the camel.
Amazing.
Alex Karras wasn't really that big. He punched a horse.
It's true.
Blazing
Not
Saddles.
real, of course.
Good. What time of day is this?
Early morning.
Oh, we got some time to kill.
You got some
Because
time
it's
to kill.
sundown when we have to.
Yeah. Cana is Cana is a. It's really a very ancient-looking town. It's that even in because what are we in here? We're in the beginning of October, aren't we? Or in mid-October, somewhere in that ballpark.
Something.
Yeah, because we were in
Something.
September when we started way back in Vienna. So you guys are somewhere around beginning or mid-October. Even this late in the year, it's still very hot as the day warms up, and this town kind of toils under that hot sun. It's very dusty, and if it weren't for the fact that the Nile were right there, you'd wonder how anyone could survive here. But and the town is clearly broken up into, the ancient side of it versus the side that has popped up as a result of archaeological digs and tourism, because the old part of it is, like I said, it's all mud brick houses and shacks and stuff like that. And then you've got nice, more Western style construction, clearly aimed at people from Europe or even America. And there's a small hotel. There's a couple cafes, stuff that you would expect. And most of the people you see, there's really seems to be two classes of people walking around, and one of them are people who live here, and the other is tourists.
Would you remind me what year we're in?
39.
So if it's October, Hitler already invaded Poland.
Yeah, yeah. That happened
He
right.
didn't even mention it.
That happened right as you guys left Vienna.
He did mention
Oh,
it at one
okay.
point, yeah. But like,
Oh, he did. I forgot.
yeah, on the train, and I
Okay.
think the agent, the MI6 agent, mentioned it to Pilecki.
Yeah, yeah. She did.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys
and
are in what history often looks at now as the fake war or the quiet war.
So, um,
except for the Poles wouldn't say that.
Correct.
yeah, no kidding. All right, so our objective is here to find maybe a hotel for the day and provision ourselves for Dendara, because we are supposed to drink the ale at Dendara, correct?
Correct. At sundown
All right, so
was
we gotta.
Elrof's
But, but
what you call it,
to keep our
instructions.
ruse alive, to keep our ruse alive, um, we should give every indication that we need rooms for several nights.
Yeah, good idea. You get the rooms, I'll rent a car.
Gotcha. So we just need a couple, right? Unless they have one big ass room, but a little place like this, I would be surprised.
Yeah, no, I think you're talking
All
a
right,
couple. I think you're talking about a couple of rooms, probably.
all right. So I don't know what. So this, I'll go into the hotel and approach whatever they've got for a front desk or reception area, and ask, what do I? Is it a man or a woman at the front desk?
It's a man.
Okay, I would have figured, by the way, um, given the time and the place. I ask. I'll ask if do you speak English?
Uh, he looks up at you and he says, "I do." It's very accented. He says, uh, "You look as if you're new to Qena."
Yes. Uh, we're, my colleagues and I, we are very interested in uh, seeing the current excavations at Dendera. So we'd very much like to have two rooms, if you could, if you have them, for uh, several nights, 2, 3 nights.
He says that is not a problem, and he turns a book to you and asks you to sign in with your name and the names of your party, and of course he gives you a price, whatever that number looks like in Egyptian money at this point.
Okay. So hold on a second. First of all, I'm gonna sign my. God, I can't get this thing off my screen. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna sign as Heinrich Becker.
All right.
All right, and um, let's see, what's a colorful name for Walter? Um,
Hmm.
Well, given that he's Polish, I'm going to sign him as Michael Krzyzewski.
Sounds good.
Would that in Polish would that
Khan.
be pronounced Mikhail,
Uh,
or would it be
you know what?
pronounced
I don't
Michael?
know. There's a, I think it's
It probably wouldn't
somewhere
have an
that there's
E in it.
Michael. I mean, it's a heavy Catholic country, so maybe,
It would
yeah, I don't,
probably be Michal.
yeah,
Yeah, that makes a
probably
lot of sense actually.
Mikhail, Mikhail, something like that. We don't have any in our family, so I don't know.
Mm.
Khan, I'm signing him
Like he's gonna,
as.
This should be good.
yeah.
No, I'm just signing Khan in as Nam Patel,
Wow.
which is a bit of a joke on Khan, by the way, because at this time in India, Patel, because of the caste system, Patels were predominantly clerks.
Yeah, that's awful.
Interesting.
Ah,
And then what name do you use for Slim?
Here we go.
I'm gonna sign him in as John
Oh boy,
Jones.
John Jones. Oh God, that's awful.
Is so is Slim in the room with you?
You
No,
went off
he
to
was
locate a
off doing his
car.
thing,
Okay, gotcha. Yeah,
preferably a rental.
yeah.
So, okay, so I've signed the book, and I asked for 2 rooms. Obviously, there's 4 of us, so we're sharing.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully, he has accommodations, and I will pay in advance.
All right. Very good. He thanks you, tells you to enjoy your stay, and
Do we get do
yeah,
we get room keys
yeah,
or
it gives you a
something?
couple
Or
of room keys,
cool. All right.
and they're on the second floor. Directs you to stairs off to the side.
Okay. What? Now, Slim went off to find a car. What did McCall and Nam do? Did they come in with me, or are they still standing outside? Outside on the front. Either way,
Yeah, I'm just
I'll.
curious. Walter and Con.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh
Con,
yeah.
Con's
No,
muted.
I'm doing
Sorry, I
my
was talking the whole time and I was
Oh,
muted. I do this constantly, because I don't want my background noise to interrupt our session, so I always mute. And then I forget. Eventually, I'll forget once or twice or 10 times.
So, are you
Um,
guys hanging out in front of the hotel out front,
I
or
suppose
did you
so.
come in?
It sounded like Henry wanted to go in there alone. I don't know. Is that not right? It's up to you. You tell
Oh,
us what you want
I
us to
didn't
do.
care. It's up to you what you do. I'm not the boss of you.
Well, what is up with the camels? Is there like wallas or people like otherwise? I mean, they're
Well,
not
they weren't
powered
our
camels,
camels,
right?
right?
So
yeah.
They were
you don't
provided to us.
As you
you
guys
don't have to
all
mind them.
arrive at Qena, I guess they get returned to their various places and owners. As again, Qena had sent help down to help bring all these people back. So there's the town's kind of bustling. You don't know if it's normally this way, but you do see a number. You see tourists and people that you haven't met before, and then you add to that the 80 or so passengers from the steamer. Um, all of them probably trying to figure out a way to get back to where they're going, or get figure out how they're going to get their lost belongings or get whatever assistance they need.
I think Khan will stay outside and use his skill, his observation skill. He is attempting to ascertain whether there are any hostiles
Mm,
around town. I am using constantly watching.
okay.
Whenever you attempt a skill test to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1 to a minimum of 0.
All right. So insight, observation, and you can use either sight or instincts.
Okay.
Well, it reduces it down to a. It reduces it by one step. Okay, so we'll with reducing it by one step, we'll make it difficulty one.
Okay, difficulty one.
Yep.
Look at you go.
All right. Very good. Um, as you're out there, there are most definitely a few people around that are paying feels like they're paying closer attention than perhaps they should. Some of them are locals. Some of them are white, so they're European or American perhaps. Um, and you get the being who you are as Inspector General Singh, law enforcement. Uh, you get the impression that part of it's probably for petty criminal reasons, if that makes sense. But there's definitely some out of place characters that are paying very close attention to all of the people that have recently flooded into Qena and keeping a close eye on them.
I'm particularly interested in those who are looking without trying to look like they're looking.
Sure. Um,
Like the gapers I'm used to, that's rarely a danger.
right.
But the ones that are trying to look nonchalant,
Keep your distance, Chewie, but don't look like you're trying to keep your distance.
exactly.
Um, so the I don't know how I'm going to handle this here actually. Um, do you want to count that as an obtain information spend, or using one of your 2 points of momentum, or
Hmm. Good. Yeah, because we have like three,
you have two currently?
two. Ah, screw it. Let's use one. There's not a lot going on right now.
All right, very good.
Next, the fuel truck down the road explodes and.
Famous last words.
Ah, shit! I used all the momentum.
um, there are definitely that's right. There are definitely two men in suits that are sitting at an outdoor table, drinking something, tea or coffee, you would assume. One of whom appears to be reading a newspaper, and the other is doesn't, and the other is just sitting there. But they're clearly keeping an eye on everything. Uh, what you caught was that when Baker went in to the hotel and Slim went off a different direction to try to locate transportation, they definitely the guy behind the newspaper definitely took note of that.
Do they seem like policemen to me?
No,
Okay.
instinctually, I would say probably not. No.
All right, I'll turn my back to them and approach Walter and tell him what we're being observed.
Does one of them look like Pete or Lori? Oh, wait a minute. Wrong, wrong place.
That's right. Um,
Walter, we are being watched.
I know, my friend. I know. You must be careful.
Walter at this point feels like he's always being watched.
That's right. And not always by humans.
The future and the present are weirdly mingled to Walter now. He shares the perspective of the King in Yellow. Did this already happen, or will it happen still?
Or is it still happening?
It has always happened. It is happening
Still.
now, and it will
Has the
happen
man with the
again.
newspaper shot you yet, Khan? What?
Wait, what?
Oh, that's going to happen. I get so confused.
Like he is doing his ruse with the dog and the seeing eye dog and the dark glasses, so as like can go into the hotel without objection.
All right. So Slim, you're looking for transportation.
I am. Yeah, I'm not sure. If there was Enterprise back then, but
Not quite, but there's definitely an area of the town where, as you walk in, there's different people hawking different types of of transportation, to the historic site that is Dendera. Some of them are offering a ride with tours that go out regularly. And that's probably the cheapest way to go about it. Just climbing in with a tour that's already going in a truck or something along those lines. And of course, you've got camels, you've got horses, and so I guess the question is, what kind of vehicle are you looking for? You're looking for a car specifically for the four of you, or
Yeah, car for the four of us. Yeah,
so? Let's
rental
have
probably.
you make
Mhm.
an insight roll. You can use either observation or vehicles.
Okay.
Um,
First vehicle. Well, I guess not. I drove the truck once. Um, is that right?
no problem. Um, so yeah, there's definitely a few different cars available. What type of car would Slim really gravitate towards?
So, um, I think he would gravitate towards something rugged and all terrain. Um, I think he enjoys nice cars, but he's sensible enough to know what the terrain would demand. So he's looking for, I don't know, even like a Jeep or something.
Yeah. Okay. All
Mhm.
right. Yeah.
As long as it holds four and a dog.
That's right.
I'll let you locate something like that. A good Willis Jeep, maybe.
Okay,
Yeah, that'll work.
sounds good.
Unless you want the Bentley Derby sports car.
Tempting, very tempting. But I think having grown up in the desert, Slim does know, like, um, you know,
Yeah. Oh
that there
yeah.
are certain demands. I think he's real conflicted right now. Like he's looking to indulge in something uh, to self-medicate. So the temptation is definitely there, but he stays on mission. Um, it. He's got the Manila envelope of petty cash that that he was carrying in Cairo, and so I don't know. He pays for this rental,
Where the fuck
and
does Qena
he
have the
sort
petty cash? How did that happen?
of, and he's asking. He says, "Say, friend, don't read too much into this, given that I've just rented your vehicle. But what passes for a drink around here?"
um, he. Yeah, that's right. He, uh, he uh, he directs you to there's a corner spot on the other side of town that serves some a few selections of very poor and watered down alcohol. Of course, he himself does not partake; it's against his religion. But it's as a result of you Americans and the number of Brits and Western Europeans around. Town
Well,
offers that.
I appreciate. I did not mean to offend. This is for medicinal purposes, and
Medicinal
he
purposes.
like tips his hat and drives off in the jeep, and he probably dilly dallies a little bit because he hasn't been behind the wheel, so he kind of like drives around town, at least a few blocks before going back to the hotel.
Mm.
Um, and when
That's
he
a good
pull,
idea to look around.
yeah, I think he just kind of casually look around, and then whenever he does pull up to the hotel, you know, um, slides up to Pilecki and sing with a double beep, honk, beep beep.
And Baker will use that little beep to walk out the front door to meet up with the guys.
All right. Perfect.
What do you think,
So
gentlemen?
When we're
Henry,
united, I'll tell them about the guy with the guys with
okay.
at the table, so everybody knows. Sorry to interrupt.
Well, Henry looks at the guys and he says, "I've procured 2 rooms." He handed a key. He hands a key to Khan and he says, "I signed you in. Your alias is Nam Patel." And he looks at Walter and he says, "You are Mikhail Shishevsky."
Dziękuję.
And he hands the key to, or he holds up a key and shows it to Slim. He said, "You and I are together again, Slim, and your alias is John Jones. The rest of you will refer to me as Heinrich. Heinrich Becker."
Well, shit, Heinrich. You couldn't think of something more original than John Jones?
It's
Doesn't
very
sound very.
American.
God
Well, I
raises an
guess it doesn't
eyebrow.
sound very exotic. John Jones. It's like John Doe.
You don't strike me as exotic, Slim. Oh, I'm sorry, John.
He smirks. And he
We'll
says,
come up with some colorful nicknames for you. Johnny Shortcakes.
I like that. How about
Marty has stepped away momentarily.
Big JJ? Or, he sort of is just like monologuing. And he's
An
like,
alliterative name for you. Oh, I could have done that. I could have come up with alliterative aliases, but I didn't.
well, I appreciate the effort. Say, we driving around or we am I parking this girl until we figure out where to?
Well, I think, let's see. Let's go through the chain of events. The ship exploded. We ran below deck to try and save some people that didn't need saving. Slim was lucky he wasn't eaten. I thought we had to swim to the shore. I don't remember if we got in a boat. We just rode camels. We waited around, then we just rode camels into town as the light broke, so it's daylight. I don't know about you guys, but my butt's dragging. I
can
think we
co-sign
need
that.
some rest. Point of order for Hachiman.
He stepped away, I think.
He's
Right?
not here. Yeah, look at the comments. He says, "Be right
Oh,
back."
BRB. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Well, then we need to ask Hachi. If we looked at our sheets, sounds like he's back.
Sorry, guys. My
No
my
problem.
my watch was going off saying I was getting notifications on my phone, and I couldn't figure out where my phone was. I just had a text
All right.
from work I had to deal with.
So we think we're going to rest because of all the activity that went on, and we're tired, right?
Makes
We haven't
sense.
had any sleep. But I had a question about a point of order. Since the last mission ended and this officially starts a new mission, when we look at our equipment, do we have our equipment back?
No, because
Or
that
is
was
it
a
gone?
mission within a mission. So
Okay. But
Inception.
let me ask a different question, though. Are we going to retcon this thing that the stuff that we typically had, like my burglar's tools and my climbing equipment, which is a minor item, that I still have those with me? They didn't go down with the ship.
oh yeah, I just assumed general equipment you guys still have.
Okay.
How about the bazooka?
Well, he had it in his
Oh,
bag.
yeah,
He had his
you
bag with him.
saved it.
We purposely told him to save that bag.
Everybody
Okay.
thought he was trying to save the blonde, but really he was trying to save my bazooka.
You know what? When that mummy comes out of that tomb, you're going to be real glad that I have that rocket.
That is true.
Igor, get the bags, would you? Fine, you take the blonde, I'll take the one in the toy bin.
All right, so we have to drink the red ale at sunset. So are we wanting to sleep for a few hours and then do it? Or are we wanting to wait a day and then go out and do it the following day?
Oh, I say we get some rest and we go for it tonight.
I think you're right.
Yeah, so October sundown would probably
actually,
be what,
it's-
around
it's-
6:30.
It's good role playing because
Also,
I had stress from the last adventure, so this will be a mechanical reason to lose distress,
Oh,
which I've
yeah.
already taken
It's-
off my character
yeah.
sheet. But now I feel justified.
And Slim, given the information, I'm sorry, John, given the information from Nam that we're being watched, maybe you should park the the vehicle behind the hotel, and when we leave tonight, we should go out the back.
Sounds good to me.
What do you guys think?
Oh,
All
well,
right.
we are. No, I'm sorry. I'm always lagging behind when you ask a question because I have to turn off the thing. So just be patient with me. I'm sorry. Um, what was I going to say? We are being watched, so it's time to be spies again.
Okay. All right. So Henry's gonna head. Rooms are on the second floor.
All right, so Slim heads in, and everyone. I guess whoever's like going in the hotel, he follows in, and he like breaks off
Well, you're
at
gonna park
the
the
desk.
vehicle behind the hotel, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. Park the vehicle behind the hotel and come in.
I'll tell you the room number, but I'm going up to the room. You
The
park the vehicle.
point is, after he parks in the back, he approaches the clerk, and he says, "They call me Big John Jones. Nice to make your acquaintance, friend."
He looks up at you and says, "You as
Big
well?"
John Jones. He's
Yeah,
like a buck 50.
yeah, exactly.
Big
he,
John Jones.
yeah, he raises an eyebrow.
Wear size 28 pants.
Uh, I was just curious. Can you point me in the direction of well, I have a festivity to look forward to. I was just wondering if you could point me in the direction of some of your finest spirits in town, or perhaps if you were, uh, you know, selling bottles of any sort at your establishment here.
He says, "We do not sell alcohol here, but there is the there is one place in town, and he tells you where to find it. It's obviously Qena's not a huge town, so
Yeah.
everything's kind of within walking distance to a degree."
Okay, I appreciate that, friend. And he takes the directions, and he's about to leave. And I don't, is anyone? Let's say like I don't know, like Pilecki is in the lobby on their way up, on his way up. I don't know where you're going, Walter, but
Yeah, I think we're sharing a room, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Um,
hey, you, and he and he points at Pilecki. He says, can I uh, can I get you anything from town? I'm gonna make a little provisional run.
oh no, I appreciate it, my friend. I must prepare my mind for tonight.
Yeah, you do that, and he he nods and says, I'll be back shortly, and he meanders off.
All right.
Um, with the goal of finding a bottle of whatever passes for liquor in Qena, Egypt, um, for his flask.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know that he's being extraordinarily careful either, for what it's worth.
No, that's fine. That's
Mhm.
fine. Um, I figured that's where you were going with that. Was
Yeah.
yeah, getting your alcohol supply level
Hmm.
uh ready. Does anybody else have anything specific they want to do?
Um,
Time
I,
jumping to late afternoon.
I do not.
okay.
Can we go over I'm showing 2 fortune points. Does that sound right?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And everybody's got like
Everyone starts with three, but I know a couple of you used one in the first part of Egypt.
yeah, I think I burned one once. Okay.
Well, I need to look at my character sheet. I don't think
Oh, do
I.
we get those back, or is that
No.
No,
okay?
not till the
Yeah,
end of Egypt.
right, right. The End of Egypt. That sounds like a good book title.
Does sound like a good book title,
All right.
Uh,
but I have too many books to write as it is.
I still have my fortune points. Okay.
Yeah, I know Pilecki
Okay.
used one on a remote viewing back at the museum. Um, I didn't
All right.
remember if
So
anybody else did.
at some point, does Slim show up in
Yeah,
the hotel?
Yeah, I mean he's just making a quick run. Um,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then coming back for rest. But he's being grumpy about it.
All right. Well, when Henry sees him, he says, "Ah, ha, ha, there's Johnny on the spot."
oh,
Is this before or after they've slept?
This is before.
Yeah, I was just
Okay.
getting some provisions before our desert excursion. Don't worry about me. He rubs his head.
All right. So we get some sleep. We're up before, obviously, before the sun sets. So Henry suggests that we see if there's something to eat in this town. It may be a while before we eat again. Frankly, it's been a while since we ate. Dinner got interrupted.
Well, speak for yourself. I put everything I could down on that boat.
All right, so I'll go to the guy at the front desk and say and ask him where would he suggest where would you suggest tourists like me find some dinner?
yeah. He gives you a couple different options depending on what it is you want. If you want something, if you want traditional Egyptian food, or if you want something more, he probably says with a grimace, something more, you know, what you're used to.
Well, my intestinal fortitude notwithstanding, probably something I'm used to. Are we all down in the lobby now?
Sure.
Sure, I don't see why not.
Have you guys ever
Uh,
eaten? Sorry, go ahead.
so, well, Henry's just gonna look over at Slim and motion for him to come over and say, "Hey, Johnny, come lately. Come on over here. Where would
What do you
you?
need,
What,
sir?
what kind of food you think you'd like to have? You like some local Egyptian fare, or would you like something a little more less stressful on your system?"
Less stressful. I have the stomach of a vulture, my friend, and I do so enjoy indulging in the finest local cuisine. I'm not sure what they eat out here, though. Sand?
Uh, all right, so um, all right, so I'd say let's go to one of these places to eat, and I look at Khan and say, Nam, if you would keep your eye out for those prying strangers, let us know if you see them on the walk over, and then
Sure.
we should plan our moves for the evening. Um, we want to get there before sunset because we're supposed to drink the stuff right at sunset, right? Is that correct? Is that those were
That's
the
what the
instructions?
That's right.
instructions
Yep.
were. Yeah.
Yep.
So no one mentioned if the dog has to drink too. Oh well.
She
Oh
does like
man.
beer, like most dogs.
So we just need to make a plan for getting there and not looking too circumspect. So okay, so obviously we're going to go out the back door of the hotel and take the jeep. Um, oh, on the walk over, does Con, are you going to do an observation, see if you see anybody?
I sure will.
And while we're eating, by the way, just see if there's any of
Yeah, we'll just
those guys are watching us.
call
I'm
it for the whole
constantly
time frame.
watching. Do I need to roll? Yeah, roll.
Yeah, inside observation. Instincts or sight's fine.
Difficulty 1 with it.
It would have been two, but you've got that talent, which drops it to
Yep.
one.
Roger.
Yeah, so you have a success. Yeah, you certainly, as you guys are eating, you certainly notice that one of the uh, one of the men you noticed earlier walked into the restaurant. He doesn't have his buddy with him, but he selected a table by himself.
Okay, does this restaurant does it have does it is it fairly civilized and has restrooms, or does it have
Yeah,
some facilities out back?
no, it's very westernized.
All right. I'm assuming, Con, I'm assuming you're gonna tell us that dude is one of the dudes.
Absolutely. That is one
All
of the
right.
dudes.
Let's keep
Slim's
let's
like, he
keep our
works a
eye on him.
ranch? What?
All right. So obviously, he's watching our move. I think even though we make quite a group that kind of sticks out a little bit, as Lady Green pointed out, it it's unlikely that he's watching us because of that. He's 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 up to no good. I didn't think we left that big of a footprint, so to speak, in Egypt. I mean, in Cairo.
Slim is speaking through a mouthful of shawarma, and he chews and he leans in and and he says, "How much you want to bet? That man says he's from Arizona. I can take him out. You just give me the word. We don't even
Well,
have to muck
uh,
around with this."
we may have to we may have to watch for him. Uh, if we must deal with him, we'd like to deal with him in a more private, preferably private place with preferably less light and no bystanders.
Well, that's fair.
I've had a little practice at that.
Still, you seen how they drive around here. I got 3,000 pounds of steel that'll take care of that problem.
It'll look commonplace. Good idea there.
Oh, I'm picking it up. You know, and
Good idea there, Johnny Law. Okay. So Kyle, check your notes. I'm checking my notes.
yep.
So we're supposed to drink the red ale. As soon as Ra enters the duat, let's see, I'm looking at my notes.
That's all the instructions that I have written down.
And we understood sunset was key, right?
Remind me who told us about this ritual?
This was
The,
Elroy or whatever his name was from he was or
The
Leroy.
old man that was like
Yo,
a
Rolf.
servant to a rich
Yeah,
British guy, but then turned out to be their roles were
right.
not so
yeah, yeah.
simple.
Hmm.
He's kind of the wizard that Slim accidentally talked to.
How do you
He was
pronounce his name? Elroff?
Yeah, L-Rauf.
But maybe I missed.
Elroff.
Was that a
El
session I missed?
Rauf.
I
Okay,
think it was a session I missed, right?
you're gonna have to be more specific, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I
He
just
was
don't
in two
remember. Like,
sessions. The first time we met him, he was just a servant,
Right.
let me see.
and then he was a little bit, informal and whatever, bumbling at first a little bit, and then we get inside, and there's the his like not master, but the proprietor, the owner, the rich guy or whatever that he works for. And we came back later, and it turned out our assumptions were reversed. The owner's like the clueless one, and the servant was the wizard, like who knew what everything's going on, and he had a scrying pool. And I don't remember all the specifics, but there was like a little ritual, and he looked inside and saw distantly what was happening. And then he said, "Come back here the next day. I shall make for you a brew that will, aid you in your quest. But you have to go to this place." And he told us about where we're heading.
Okay.
And then
And we
I think
brought
we
him a
had to
blue
give him
lotus.
something. Yeah, we had to give
Blue
him a
lotus.
flower that was growing. Anyway, that we gave him the ingredients, and he made the brew the next day. And so
Oh, I
we
see.
have like this magic brew that we're supposed to drink at a certain time that will reveal something to us that relates to our quest.
And we know he's an ally because,
We don't have proof, but he's done nothing but help us.
okay.
And the guy that he was with, they have like this weird symbiotic relationship, kind of like he pretends to be the butler, and the guy
Hmm.
pretends that he has a butler, but really that's his
It's odd.
house that the guy owns. I don't know the specifics. Marty would have to tell us, but it's
Yeah,
just an agreement. They're not really master servant.
I got it. Yeah, okay. I must have
And he
missed that.
said,
Either that or amnesia.
uh,
Comes in.
he said, we have to save the sun, drink the red ale at the temple. Ra must pass through 12 gates or challenges to return from the underworld.
Apparently, according
Oh,
to Google, Al Rauf means the kind, the pitying, or most kind, the ever compassionate.
oh wow.
Hmm.
Was that on
So really,
purpose?
the ritual just consists of us being there and drinking the ale at sunset, huh?
Well,
I
that's the
don't
beginning
remember.
of it.
Oh, do we know anything else, or
Well, when our
No.
brains explodes, hopefully
yeah,
we can have
okay,
Well, it
flashbacks.
sounds like there's potential to pass through 12 trials.
yeah.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Fortunately, Slim
And
has
let's
been on
see.
trial before.
Yeah.
We haven't looked at our statue that points lately, have we?
No, we haven't. Who has that?
One of
I
us.
think Khan.
I don't
I think
remember.
Khan.
Has the what?
The
The finger
statue,
pointing.
the
Oh
finger pointer.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I'll say I have it if you guys want. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay,
It
so
Well, I don't know if you want to whip it out in the restaurant, but yeah.
I'm
Definitely
so
not
many
near that guy with the
connotations.
paper.
I'm hoping if we take a vehicle and we have to drive a mile, we're going to leave town to go to the dig. If somebody wants to follow us, they're going to be obvious.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Leave
Anything
a
else
little
we need to
early and
figure
go in
out
a
what to
different
do?
direction, maybe. Right? Leave a little early in a different direction, just to draw them if they're following us, and then try to lose them.
Well, I don't
I mean,
know.
we don't want to leave like right.
Is there
I
any
don't want to
reason
be like.
for anyone to go do anything but go to the temple in Dendra when you
Well,
come here?
I don't know. We could maybe drive towards the other dig site, or I don't want to be like my daughters and like, oh, my doctor's appointment's in 5 minutes and it's 10 minutes away, and we're driving and like,
Yeah.
oh shit, there's somebody behind us.
Well, listen, I can lose this guy if you get me
Yeah.
behind the wheel.
All
This
right.
part of the desert, um is it, are there dunes? Is it flat? Is it
No, it's mostly flat.
mostly flat? So you can
Let's
probably
just
see
see
for
what
miles.
happens.
Okay. I'm good for that too.
Are four powerful men like us gonna let one or two knuckleheads cause us a problem?
Haven't so far.
What's he doing? Is he still is he still eating? But he's surreptitiously watching us, right?
Yeah.
But he hasn't made a move. All right.
No, he's not doing anything. All right. So what's the plan, gentlemen?
Well, I have another question for you guys then. Uh, yeah, we got to finish eating and get going because we want to get there before the sun goes down to check out everything, figure out where we're supposed to be when we drink the red ale. Because we haven't checked out the site yet, so we need to spend a little time knowing what's what and where we think we should go to do this. But the question I had is, there's probably a back door out of this place. Do we want to exit the back door and then lay a trap for this dude? Because he might follow us.
That's a very Baker thing to do.
Yeah, we could take him somewhere else and see if he follows us.
Well, I was thinking if we go out the back door and he follows us, we could turn on him, and there may not be any witnesses behind the
That's
restaurant.
that is good. I like that. We, we could even
Nice.
bag him if we need to.
So I'll tell you what. How about this? You said there's a. We did we mention something about a restroom in this place, or was it somewhere else?
I asked if there was a restroom.
Yeah, was it this place?
Yeah,
Yeah, and there is, right?
yeah. I was wondering if the guy got up to use
Okay, how
the
about the three of us
facilities.
go out the back, and Henry goes to the bathroom, and when the guy comes out, Henry comes out
Oh,
behind him, so he can't run away.
That's pretty good.
so we have him trapped on both spots. In fact, what I'll do is I'll try and follow behind him quietly, let him go out the door, and then rush him. And you guys will be out there waiting. How about that? That's a good idea.
Yep.
Nice plan.
I'll take my camera out and try to snap
I
a
knew we
shot
brought you along for something.
the moment he realizes that Henry's behind him. Just for laughs.
Yeah, absolutely.
What?
All right, that's a plan. So we'll pay for everything, and let's. So what I'll do is I'll lead. You guys will walk behind me so that hopefully he doesn't see me duck into the bathroom because you'll be blocking his view, and then you just keep walking out the back door.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, that's what we're doing,
We'll
Mister
be we'll be conspicuous in
Astronaut.
that.
Okay. All right. Um. So I would like one of you to make a willpower persuasion roll with a deceive focus.
I am at 8 on that, gentlemen.
All right.
All right,
So
hold it. We'll
willpower.
deceive.
I have a
All right.
13.
I have 13, no focus.
All right, willpower persuasion. I'm 12 with a deceive focus.
That is exactly the same for me. Well, what did I say?
You said
said
12 or
13,
13. 13, yeah.
I'm 12 with a deceive focus.
And I'm 12 with a deceive focus. So either one of us can do it. And how many momentum do we have left? One?
You have one.
Or did we gain one back? We have one. So we can use one momentum for an extra die.
Yeah, let's use it.
Or save it. Your pick.
Yeah, well,
Why don't we just save it? Just go ahead and.
you sure? All right.
Oh,
So who's making
Okay.
the roll? I'm sorry.
It's one of the other. It's either Pilecki or it's probably Pilecki, right? Or
No, it's going to be Connor Baker.
thing rather.
Common Baker. I have 13 also, but
all right. So we're trying to. The deceive part is hoping he doesn't see me going in the bathroom. Is that it?
It's basically to see if he recognizes you guys are setting up a trap.
Oh, okay. Well, then that in particular, I guess it doesn't matter. All right. So
Use the momentum,
we
bro.
do. Okay.
Well, I'm going to tell
Okay.
you, based on his roll, your difficulty is 4.
Oh, Jesus.
That's not good.
Difficulty is 4.
We have fortune too.
Well, I'm thinking about the fortune point. What does the fortune point do?
The fortune point will
Fortune point.
turn one of your two dice into a one, which is automatically two successes, and then you just roll the single die at that point.
If he uses the momentum, then he would have.
Then he could roll two dice in addition to the automatic one
But I need two successes
on those two dice, correct?
on those two dice, and that's not very good odds. It's not a good use of a fortune point.
It's better than getting. Well, we need four, right? So if the only way to get two successes on one die is to roll a one. But if we do a momentum, then we just need to get successes, which are anywhere from 1 to 19, right? Or
Well,
1 to whatever the
No,
target number is.
what's
my target number is going to be 12.
okay? More importantly, what's your persuasion?
Oh, my persuasion is my persuasion is 3.
So
My
on any
will is
roll,
9.
on any roll of any die that's a one, two, or three, you will gain two successes. So if you use a
Okay.
fortune point, you turn it into two. You turn one die into two automatically because it sets one of your dice into a one as a one. Okay, so then you would have to succeed on the other die that you roll. You would have to roll a one, two, or three, or you spend your 1 point of momentum to buy an extra die. In which case, you
Okay,
somehow
so
need two successes between the two
all right.
dice.
So let's look at my persuasion subtle cues talent.
Okay.
It says you're good at knowing what people are thinking, spotting all those little cues they give away in their posture, gestures, and tone of voice, and you're good at faking those cues as well. If you spend some time conversing with or observing someone, when you make a persuasion test against them, you may reduce the cost of the first d20 you purchase to 0.
Okay. So then you can get that d20 without spending the momentum.
Unfortunately, we'd need 2 momentum to get another die,
Correct.
because that's the second die.
Correct.
So it doesn't really help me other than it saves our momentum.
Correct.
What do you guys want to do? You want to go for, well, I hate to burn a fortune point on something that's just so little chance, but I'm willing to go for it. All right. So fortune point says 2 successes, so I have to roll 1 die. Is that correct?
Right, but your talent gives you a second die, so you go ahead and roll two.
So I roll 2,
Yeah.
and the difficulty
Is
is, well,
Well,
if I already,
the fortune point reduces two by two automatically. So roll two dice with a difficulty of two.
right, okay. So willpower, it's 2 dice. Relevant skill is persuasion. Focus is yes. Difficulty is 2. Yeah.
All right. So yeah, you guys set your trap. I'm just gonna allow your talent to basically let you know that this guy's not going for it. He can tell that you guys are up to something. He's not gonna fall for
He's not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe.
it. That's right.
All right. Well,
Okay.
let's just meander back to the hotel and get ready to do what we're going to do.
All right.
Slim, if I drove instead of you and they followed us, you'd be free to use your bazooka.
And for the first time in his life, Slim has a crisis.
Middle of the desert. That's perfect opportunity. You got a mount on that Jeep? Get a better aim.
Well, as long as you avoid the backblast, you'll be fine.
I knew you'd be.
Listen, I was
Oh, wait a minute. I have a question for Hachiman.
Yeah.
Could I have gotten another point of momentum if I gave you threat?
You can buy extra dice with threat. Yeah, you can give me threat to buy extra dice in lieu of momentum.
Because I needed 2 momentum to get another die,
Right, you would have had to have given me 1 point of
and I
threat.
only have. Oh well, we already played through it. I just need to keep that in mind next time.
Right, no problem.
Okay. All right. So let's do our thing. We've eaten. We've planned. Let's go back to the hotel and if this one guy is watching us, then his partner is probably staking out the hotel. Anyway, we'll find out. Keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled there, Nam Patel.
All right.
I will.
I love this.
All right.
All right, well,
I
let's
will,
get on
Saeed.
with it.
Big John Jones is gonna go get the. He's gonna load up the jeep.
All right.
Well, we're gonna. I thought we'd go out the back door. You parked around back, right?
Yes.
So we go in the hotel through the front door and go out the back door, put all our stuff in the Jeep and take off.
Right.
Okay.
All right.
Although
All right.
I'm assuming your big bag is in your hotel room. You're
Well,
not carrying a
wait a
big
minute.
bag around with you, are you?
Wait a minute. Are you
You're not waltzing
suggesting
through
that we?
town carrying a big bag with a bazooka in it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I guess we'd have to go up to the room. I mean, it.
Yeah.
Do you guys want me to bring the bag to this Egyptian ruin?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go up and
Betcha.
get the bag.
All right.
And we load it into the jeep.
All
And we
right.
go out the
Yeah.
back door and get in the jeep.
All right. So, Con, um, when we make our way to the hotel, um, do you see the other guy you saw?
Do I see the other guy I saw?
No.
Yeah.
No. I don't see him.
Do we notice if
Maybe he's
the
waiting for
first
us to go out
knucklehead
the
is?
back.
Yeah.
He's waiting out
Do we
there with a
notice if the
Thompson.
first Hachi? Do we notice if the first guy who was watching us from the restaurant is meandering along with us?
Mm-mm. No, he did not follow you guys out.
Okay. Well, maybe. Well, there's two of
That's
them.
actually a good thing,
All right.
right? We don't need him following us, so that's good.
We don't need him following us. Maybe because he thought it was a trap that he didn't follow us. Maybe that's in our favor. Maybe it
Well,
worked
mission
out.
accomplished. We got rid of him without having to kill him
That just cost us a fortune point.
Without
Yet.
having to kill him yet.
yet. Still a
You just wait
success.
for New Mexico Steve to show up.
Henry doesn't like loose ends.
I was going to go with Texas Pete, actually, but okay.
Oh, now those are fighting words. Slim will take personal offense. Even more so.
All right. So let's do this.
All right.
Let's take a
Why
quick
am I
5
not
minutes.
Texas Pete?
That will be your alias in the next.
All right, quick break.
I am
Oh,
Texas
when do we
Pete.
have to end today? I'm good.
About another hour, 1 o'clock my time. Noon
Bio?
your guys' time.
You guys good for 12 Central?
Yeah, I'm good.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Bio break real
All right.
quick.
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Cool.
All right. Me too.
I have returned. Are we streaming this? Are we on?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Do I need to pause or something?
No. Just, you know, self regulate.
We get we usually get all of 5 viewers and not
Sure,
all
sure.
at one time.
All right. This will be in 30 sessions my second time behind the wheel.
Has it been 30? You're kidding, right? 30?
No, it's got to be one, two.
I can tell you exactly how many it's been.
24?
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy crap. Time flies.
Yeah, bi-weekly, that's 1 year, right?
Phew. Yeah. I don't know. When was the first time I played Alien RPG with you, Marty? I don't. What was it, like 3 years ago?
Well, Alien RPG actual plays. Oh no, stop! I don't want you to actually play it. I want to see the playlist. Um,
I'm back.
the first one we did was a one shot I wrote called "The Monsters We Make,"
Yeah.
and that one was 2 years ago.
Only two? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Seems like three.
Of course, YouTube rounds that slightly, so I don't know precisely
Mm-hmm.
the date. I guess I could probably figure it out, but it was give or take 2 years ago.
My God, I remember playing with a broken ankle. I remember playing with COVID. I remember playing with sinus surgery. All that wet 2 years.
Bro, you got to take a vitamin or something. What's going on?
Yeah, oh, believe me, I am.
I look back at. I'm gonna tell you. I look back at the. Okay, what the heck is this video doing in this playlist? What the heck? 2005 Audi A8 problems. What? I just got edited by accident. No, I go back into those videos and I really I really look forward to playing those games again. I forget all the content I wrote for Alien RPG.
Oh, there was a ton.
I
Sharif
mean,
and I was his was I his daughter or was I his son? I think.
there was one where you were his daughter. That was the hunt.
I died in a
Yeah,
locker.
I love that game.
I got my ass destroyed by a Xeno in a locker. Was it a Xeno or a Predator?
It was a predator. Yeah.
Was it a Predator?
Yeah.
I just remember getting ripped apart. I was an asshole parent the whole time, except for like the last half hour. It was like that character remembered, oh, I'm a parent.
Yeah.
Stuff the kid, stuffed Jim in a locker and closed the door and got
Yeah.
eviscerated in front of the locker.
Holy shit.
I just remember saying, "Fuck you, mom. You're the reason Dad left."
Dark.
And then
Oh, it was
So dark.
it was a lot of fun.
you guys
I
remember
really-
Immaculate? Immaculate.
Yeah.
That one took 5 sessions.
Holy shit, that one was serious, intense. Oh my
Yeah.
god, murder mystery from the depths of aliens. Yeah, with the dusty, shitty, abandoned mining colony. There's very few
Uh-huh.
people there. Oh yeah, that was a good one, man. And then all our dudes got killed. And then you remember we went to their like hideout or not hideout, but where they were doing all their shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was just a blood fest too. It was dangerous as shit. It was dark. Gunfighting everywhere. That was cool though. That was a good one.
Yeah,
You
that
missed all
was.
that, Kyle.
I don't think I died in that one.
Regrettably.
And you're
The
gonna
first
have
one
to-
I played was the one with the androids.
Rule of Robots.
Oh man, almost a TPK on that one.
Yeah, that one was close. But
Like one and a half people survive.
but that's the way aliens should go. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
if it works out right, you should only have one or two survivors. Um,
I mean,
you
I
know,
survived because I had no fighting skills. I was the doctor with zero fighting skills whatsoever. So everybody's pulling out guns and shit, which is exactly what got everybody killed.
that's exactly right.
Because everybody's like, "I'm going to fight these robots." That was like what I would have done if I had a gun. But so I
Yeah.
just hit I hit an event.
When I, when I
Ran
played it,
away.
my character, I think suffocated.
Yeah, that's right.
We should
He
make a
needed to.
list of all the
He,
deaths.
well, he
Yeah, no
but
kidding.
it was right near the end. It was right near the end, and he had passed a survival roll,
Uh,
which bought him another turn, and he had to make one more survival roll, and then the oxygen would be restored, and he didn't.
Oh man.
He died moments before the oxygen was restored to the place.
we barely took off in time from that planet. We barely took off in time. I had to let Andy into the ship, I think, at the last second because I didn't
Um,
know how to fly it.
and the very first one we played was the Monsters We Make, and that one was Jim, Bob, um, and there was a guy who played with us just once or twice, a young guy from somewhere in the Midwest,
I remember him.
and
He was a good player, that guy,
he
actually.
was he was, and that one was the only person who survived was Bob, and he didn't even really survive because he doesn't have piloting. He failed his piloting role of the ship, so the ship's just out spinning off into space somewhere.
Oh no,
um,
still out there somewhere,
yeah,
waiting to
So
get
he
rescued.
survived, but in a bad way.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
well, he's like Ripley, put himself in cryo and just hope one day somebody finds him.
Yeah.
Well, and the good news is he was a secret android, so um,
Oh, really?
oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, so he's fine.
Yeah, the rule of or that was Monsters We Make. I that one is so evil. I've had GMs reach out to me and told me that that game's just not fair. Well, first off, it's Alien. It's not supposed to be fair. Okay? But there's 5 PCs and 3 of them are androids. One of them is an android. He's a bishop class and he's just there to help. And of
Hmm.
course, because he's an android, everybody suspects him. But there's 2 other characters. One is a company executive named Kumiko, and she's actually an android, but she doesn't realize it. And then there's the other one, Doctor something, a biologist. She knows she's an android, and she's actually a plant from a competing company.
Oh,
So you've
okay.
got you've got all these different. Poor Jim. Jim played the guy who's like about to retire from Wayland
Yeah.
Utani. This is his last mission. He's just got to get through it, and it's all good.
Game over, man.
There were xenomorph wasps, and then there was the Xeno Rhino,
Oh,
which
Yeah.
you can't beat, and you're not supposed to try because you can't beat it. You have one like high impact assault rifle amongst you, and that's it.
yeah. What was the name of the long campaign that we played? I played an android in that one,
Uh,
Captain Rudat. I love that character. That was
that
a fun character to
that
play.
was that was AVPVE, Aliens versus Predator versus Engineers.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I didn't know what the name of it was.
Yeah, it didn't have any specific name. It was just AVPVE. Each mission had its own separate name, but that was kind of my long fan love letter to everything in those universes.
It felt like it. It was really fun, and it was neat to encounter all that stuff.
Yeah. To
Hmm.
encounter Dutch from Predator in
Yeah,
uh,
yeah,
in
yeah,
2180.
yeah. And Reese,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He
and
was in
who
it.
else?
Newt
All the
made an
creatures.
appearance. Oh, and Ripley made an appearance.
Ripley and
Yeah.
all the predators showed up. That was a terrifying moment.
I've got a big long PDF of that on my website. I mean, I even designed how to spec out different types of predators with different types of weapons and stuff.
Oh, cool.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was anyway.
It
Okay.
was fun
You
to
guys mentioned.
actually have
Hold it.
some.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying it was
Well, you
fun to
guys
have.
mentioned the hunt. One of us needs to go. I'm gonna shut up for a second. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just saying it was fun to actually have, because the one shots were fun in a different way. It was fun because it's the constant avoidance of death. That's fun though, you know what I mean? But then the
Mhm.
campaign was fun because it was like we got to actually play and grow characters in this hyper lethal environment where you're always afraid of dying. So it was a good back and forth.
Yeah. Yeah, the beauty to one shots is that you don't necessarily care if your character dies. So a lot of alien groups, if you watch playthroughs on YouTube on one shots, a lot of these guys take great glee in how gruesomely their character can die.
I I totally get that. I think
Yeah.
that's the funnest part, especially in the one shots.
Yeah, because in
Yeah.
the end, you're in a horror movie. That's what you're in. You
That's
know.
what you're in. Yeah, you're a character in a horror movie, and you know that boogans are coming to kill you. So make
Well,
it
and I
good.
noticed when you're not emotionally tied to a character that you brought up and nurtured through a lot of campaigns,
Hmm.
uh, the people take risks they wouldn't normally take,
Yeah.
which makes it more fun.
Hmm.
But I had a question, you guys. When you guys played the hunt, did anybody get out alive?
Which one was the hunt again?
The Hunt was the very first one I did that introduced the Predator.
Yeah, we landed
Oh,
on.
I
We
was an
landed.
asshole rich guy on that
That's
one.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
And Jim was
That's
your
when that
kid.
was your daughter.
Is
Yeah, I
that the
think
one
you're
that
right.
was called the hunt? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. No, I
yeah.
that's the one I got
Yeah,
hooked in
because
half
that
on.
was the one where your character had paid Wayland Utani a whole ton of money to hunt something really dangerous on
Yeah,
this island on a
that's right.
planet.
It was like
Yeah.
a hunting preserve in
Cor-
space.
correct. And um, when you got there, there was something else that was hunting.
That's right.
So you had to
That's right.
face the xenomorph, but then you had to face a predator as well.
There was a great deal of carnage in that one.
Who did make it
So
out
did anyone
alive
get
on
off
that?
alive?
Didn't the kid? Didn't you live, Jim?
The
The kid, I think, did. Yeah.
the kid did, but she didn't get off the planet.
Mm.
She was she didn't get off the planet because she stayed inside the shelter with Sharif's character, who's her dad, and the
Right.
predator came in and killed him, and of
Right.
course had no need to kill the kid. So I think the way that would have played out is Wayland Utani eventually would have come back and picked her up. But I think shit. Who's the guy that played Jesse? Jesse, the guy who was a med student. He played
Oh
a
yeah.
number of games with us. He was in that one, and uh, and Bob was there, and we had Andy. I feel I feel like two of them made it out alive. I just don't remember which what it was. I have to go back and look. The video is on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, if you could pause the stream for a second, Sharif was asking if I would share something with you guys that you this is appropriate to this conversation. You might enjoy it.
okay.
Let me know when you pause it.
Yeah. Done.
Okay, so